What's good? It's your boy Herb Titter. Welcome back to the show, The Transition. Today I am talking about being paralyzed by your own fears. My mother and father told me when I was young, man, they said, listen, if you have some dreams, you got to do what you got to do. First and foremost, you got to get up off the couch and get out in the world. Nothing is going to happen in the house. Nobody's going to give you anything. A lot of times we use our skin colors from every nationality for the reason why we're not where we're at. I've been knowing that I've been a black man for years. So what was taught to me, and I've said this in a number of these shows, is that my mother and father told me that I'm gonna have to get up a little bit earlier, I'm gonna have to run a little bit faster, I'm gonna have to jump a little bit higher, and I'm gonna have to go to sleep a little bit later in order to just get in the room. So understanding that created a grind in me that most people that know me from the music side, you understand that. I've done over, I want to say 80 remixes with everybody in the business. I am not afraid to get on track with anybody because nobody can beat me at being me. But I can remember starting off, when doing these remixes, I paralyzed myself because I began to be nervous of who I'm going on track with, and man, can I hold up to that, and all of this other stuff. A lot of times in this world, you're held back by yourself because you're concerned with what other people think. I don't really care what other people think. I don't care if it's a group of black people that I'm around. If we have differences of opinion, I'm still going to give my opinion just as well as they should give theirs, because sometimes when we give different outlooks, maybe we come up with something different. But if we're all just supposed to run to the light or run away from the light with no questions asked, then we all tend to stay in the same position that we're in. But see, a lot of people's fears will paralyze you because you're looking for their solidification. I said this on many of my shows, and I really 100% truly mean it, is that everybody on the face of this earth sticks together except us as black males. Now here's the reason why, is because we've been taught by everybody on the face of this earth is that we need everybody's solidification, even now down to our children, where if they don't say that we're a good father, then we got to chase our children for that situation as well. But I'm saying this is that I'm not paralyzed by somebody else's opinion, because there's always two sides to a story. There is your truth, my truth, and then the real truth. Most of the times I just go ahead and tell the truth, because when it comes down to it, it'll come back and get you, and I just can't remember the lies anymore anyway. But I know that when you tell the truth, people really hate the truth a little bit more than they do a lie. Because then that puts people in a position where maybe you aren't getting off the couch. Maybe you are just sitting in one spot and you're upset because I'm not. I can't paralyze myself anymore, than I've done my whole life. I've actually stopped doing most of the things that I was doing in the spirits of my children, in the spirits of the significant person that I was with, family members, jobs, and everything else, when none of these people told me that. A person told me this one time, and it made perfect sense. He said, I didn't ask you to do it. You did it for your own purposes. Now, mind you, I live by a code, so no man left behind is what I live by. And hey, I'm going to help everybody that I can possibly help, because that's what I was taught. What I realize is that today we're all paralyzed by what we put in front of us. The roadblocks that we put in front of ourselves are the fears that somebody's going to say, well, look at you, wasted your time. Okay. I mean, this is your life, so who cares what anybody else says about what you're going to do or how you're doing it? This is your business. So if you're going to allow somebody with their own fears to steer your life, then you're not a leader. You're a follower, and you're waiting for everybody to give you the next move. I don't need anybody to tell me what my next move is, because, again, I don't live my life by other people's opinions. If I did that, then I would still be on 79th and Ellis, hanging out right there on the southeast side of Chicago. No, I had to, in order to do something you've never done, you got to go where you've never been. And if you don't broaden your horizons, then you paralyze yourself to be just stuck in that one little spot in that rut and sitting around blaming people. Like I said, America has found out when it comes to people that are poor, rich people figured out that what we need to do is give everybody that's poor somebody to blame. If I give you somebody to blame, then a good 65, 70% of the people will blame that person and go get a beer. No matter what the color is, nobody's going to do any extra because now I got somebody to blame for the position that I'm in. When technology is just as good for whites as it is for blacks, as it is for Hispanics, as it is for anything else. If you have a phone, then you have access to Google, you have access to what's going on. You may not be able to stay in your neighborhood to get an advancement. But now, are you going to live by fear because you're afraid to walk in a different city or do something in a different part of town? Again, if you say you want something, you can't be held back by your fears or other people's fears. So you can't paralyze yourself. If you paralyze yourself, then that is your fault for being right in that spot. We know what America's about. We understand racism. We get it. But the reality is that there is just as many opportunities that we have. Like now, we have so many black millionaires now that we didn't have 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that situation, yes, we understand. It's unfair. But the reality is that if you play any sports, playing basketball, man, people have hacked me all the way down. I didn't get my foul. Okay, are you gonna stop playing or what? What you if the foul wasn't called, so you're just gonna just walk up and down the court and not play no more? If that's what you're gonna do, then you're not doing your team any type of justice, period. So the reality is that let's get in the game. So many people can tell me how to use their phone inappropriately, but they definitely don't want to tell me how. Like I said, my cousin just told me, hey man, I figured out how I can get a grant, get some financial aid, and go back to school. You know how many people could do that if they weren't like driven by fear or parents or peers telling you, oh man, you ain't gonna never do that. Again, we live once. I live by this rule. I want to see how long I can live, not how fast I can blow through life. Real talk. It's your boy Herb Dot, man. Listen, come on back. I got so many of these. You know what I'm saying? Listen, do something for somebody else. Trust me, to give you a chance to figure out where you're supposed to be. Don't paralyze yourself. Put yourself in the right positions. Holla at your boy.